many states that are trying to encourage our Attorney General to investigate Exxon. It's happening in a few other states, and Tom Miller has a great record of holding corporations accountable, most notably Big Tobacco. And this is not all that Big Tobacco. They knew what they were selling was wrong. They knew it had problems. They knew the research behind tobacco, in that case nicotine, in this case climate change, and yet they continue to not only lie to people, but to hire people to go out and spread information that they knew themselves as well.
Just so, sorry, really fast. If you can look over here, is that okay?
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Just so we're getting in on. Yeah.
Just admiring it.
And that's what I thought. I figured it was that, but just so it's easier for us. So yeah, you were saying. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Right.
You can borrow right here. Anyway, so remind me again. So this is important because you're saying they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, this is important because Exxon knew exactly what they were doing. In the 1970s, they had scientists who made it emphatically clear that climate change was happening. And instead of saying, "Whoa, maybe we want to look at other sources of energy to make our company function," they lied. They decided to hire consultants who lied to the public, who lobbied for legislation that made it more difficult to move forward on renewable energy. And it's a betrayal of the public trust, and it's a betrayal of their own shareholders' interests. And so we think they ought to be held accountable. And we're encouraged that, again, Tom Miller has been a great advocate for holding corporations accountable when they do wrong. And we're delivering over 1,000 petition signatories between what Bold Iowa has collected and what Iowa 350 has collected. We've got over 1,000 people who say, yeah, it would be great to investigate this company and see what they did and see how they've harmed the public.
I just have one more question, and that is climate change obviously is a huge topic going on right now. So why is this so important that you're getting these petitions?
Well, ExxonMobil is the biggest oil company in the U.S. and and what they did is more objectionable because they're so big. But certainly some of the other corporations as well have been deceitful. And so we hope that this sends a message that none of these companies are above the law and above the responsibility to act with integrity in their relations with the public and so, there momentum on this. And we all saw what happened when Big Tobacco was finally held accountable, and we're hoping that this, leads us in the same direction.
There are climate change deniers out there, and there are people who say that there's enough research out there, so the question is still up for debate. But in your mind, that's not a question.
Well,
and how would you compare that to what happened?
I'm going to defer to the U.S. military and Monsanto and the insurance industry when it comes to the question of whether the climate debate is settled. I mean, everybody says it's settled. Everybody except a handful of scientists who really, if you look at, in many cases, they're bought and paid for by the very industry that would have to make the change necessary to deal with climate change. So, we can still talk about denial, but there's not a lot of credibility to that in scientific circles anymore. And even, again, among key elements of our life, the military, Monsanto, insurance companies, a lot of big businesses, a lot of small businesses, institutions of higher learning, they know that this is not an issue that's still up for debate.
How long did it take you to get accountable?
Not long. This just started a month ago, Cheryl, about that. This has been going on for about a month now, and people were really eager to sign. I mean, initially people said, Exxon, what's that about? And then when they started hearing information, what transpired from the investigation that Inside Climate News did, it's just hard to believe that they would have been so crass as to, research the problem, understand it, protect themselves by securing leases in the Arctic where they knew ice would be melting, and also to, build their rigs higher so they would be above sea level rise, and then to go out and hire people to lie to the public and to their shareholders. And that's unconscionable. And when people heard that, they said, oh yeah, I'll sign that. And again, knowing that Tom Miller has been an advocate on the right cause of so many issues related to this, they thought, well, yeah, this is something I can sign and get behind and encourage him to do his part.
Is this a partisan issue? It's a Democrat appealing for Democrat action.
It shouldn't be. Oftentimes things that start partisan end up being very bipartisan. Social Security, the Civil Rights Act, and I think this is an example as well. And it may take a while. We do see some pushback from some Republicans right now, but I think again, it's really not a partisan issue. Everybody believes that if you break the law or if you act irresponsibly, you should be held accountable. And so that's not that hard of a concept for the average person to put their hands around. And so I'm thinking it's just a matter of time before we see a very significant bipartisan momentum in this effort.
How do our listeners or our viewers find out more information, educate themselves on this issue, find some objective information about your
Well, they
ExxonNew.org. ExxonNew.org.
ExxonNew.org.
hashtag ExxonNew.org, right? It's just ExxonNew.org? Yeah, ExxonNew, as in they knew what they were doing and they did it anyhow.org. And again, this is a national effort with just really the beginning of a coalition
EXONKNEW.org.
Are other attorney generals responding to your group's urging? Are they hesitating?
Well, we're only focused on Iowa, but around the country, yeah, there are 18 attorneys general who have either expressed interest in this or who have actively decided to investigate Exxon. New York, Massachusetts.
There's 3 that are moving forward to investigate, and the FBI is now looking into this.
What 3 states?
Virgin Islands is in there.
Yes.
Well, who am I missing? Maryland, New York. I thought it was more than 3. Anyway, there's a growing number of states that are moving forward on
It is in your press packet, the definition.
Excellent. So, last thing for me is, what do you want ILS to do?
Well, again, it's never too late to sign this petition. We are going to deliver these names. This is the modern version of delivering petitions, right? Good idea. And we'll be of course continuing to circulate the petition, but there will be other things that we do to try to continue to move this forward. I mean, one thing that could happen is organizations, public entities, universities, they could be divesting funds from fossil fuel companies. There's no reason why, given what we know, that they should continue to invest their money in causes and organizations that are not serving the public.
So you're calling for divestment of these companies that might be...
Yes, that's a growing part of this movement around the country. And again, right now, today as we speak, there is a significant presence in Texas at the shareholders meeting, Exxon shareholders meeting. You want to talk to Cheryl though?
I'm going to leave your wire on.
Because I have...
Yeah, we can go leave it on.
Yeah, while we do that.
Do you have a statement?
Yes.
So are you going up to his office?
I think this is
We are
the
going
lobby.
up to his office.
Yes, we're having a meeting with him after. Well, maybe not with him. But you want me to stand beside you? Chief of staff.
If you want to.
Follow us up. I don't know how far.
Yeah, we can go as far as they'll let us.
It's the government building.
We could do this too.
Do you want to hold that
I
at?
can go up there. I don't care.
What's your name?
I'm Cheryl Valenta. I'm with Iowa 350.
And spell it out.
VALENTA. Well, today we are gathering together Iowa 350 in Bold, Iowa, to thank and support Tom Miller for his involvement with the Coalition of Attorney Generals and their knowledge about climate change. As Ed has said, we are standing, though, in partnership with other organizations, 100 Journeys for a Livable Future, ClimateTruth.org, Indianola Green Team, Physicians for Social Responsibility, 2 groups of the Sierra Club, Iowa City and Cedar Wapsie groups, and Sustainable Independence. We're together delivering 1,000 petition signatures to basically thank Tom Miller for his participation with the Coalition of Attorney Generals. This coalition is looking at Exxon's research and collaboration on a climate change task force of the American Petroleum Institute to determine if they have committed fraud to the public. Investigations from Inside Climate News, the Los Angeles Times, and the Columbia School of Journalism revealed that Exxon knew about climate change since the 70s. And their own researchers said burning fossil fuels would be, quote, catastrophic to our climate. But instead of telling the truth and leading to a transition of renewable energy economy that works for all, Exxon lied and misled their shareholders, politicians, and the general public. They pushed campaigns to stall climate regulations and created doubt about the science of climate warming.
You still exist today, that doubt, that climate.
Absolutely. And since then, Exxon and their big oil allies have been the largest barrier to clean energy and climate progress in the U.S. and around the world. They work to block every piece of climate legislation, weaken renewable energy standards, spread misinformation, and fund political candidates that agreed to basically do the same. Their extraction methods and business practices are poisoning people's water, land, and air, from the Exxon Valdez spill to their relentless fracking, drilling, refining, and burning of oil. Exxon has devastated the health and prosperity of our most vulnerable communities. Our voices are stronger and more effective when we join in the fight. Together we've been doing everything we can across the nation to bring Exxon to justice, and the results are massive. Already 500,000 people have asked the nation's legal authorities to investigate the #ExxonNews scandal. 4 attorneys have already said yes, and the Department of Justice has referred the case to the FBI's Criminal Division. Ultimately, what we want is to see charges brought against Exxon for their fraud and deception of climate change. They need to be held accountable for their actions in what may be one of the greatest corporate crimes in history. We stand with 1,000 petitions strong to support and encourage Tom Miller to move forward and hold Exxon accountable. It's time to investigate their role in the deception of climate change science in our current climate crisis. Now we will hear,
No, we've heard from
yes, we have heard from Ed.
Okay.
So,
all right.
yes.
I think I'm good. And Ed, if you get tossed out on your bum, you just email me.
All right. I'll send Captain Locke.
This is very similar to when the tobacco company executive.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I would like to get a photo of everyone, maybe like in front of the building, if that's all right.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
If I can see.
Oh, you're going to lose that.
So we're going to get a photo in front of the building, and then some of us are going to go upstairs.
I think right here is fine because then we can.
Where do you want the picture?
Where do you want to be?
You wanted the picture?
What?
Oh, that'd be great.
Oh, I guess it.
Sure. Where do you want to
Right here, so that that's in the background.
be? Okay. Oh, not any closer, right here.
It's fine to be in the front.
Because then you can see that.
You're taking the picture, you're getting the picture.
Us out there. Out there.
Hey, Phil. Hey, how are you? I'm good.
Oh, there's a car moving.
Oops.
Just maybe, I mean, I don't know if you can see him through my camera, but both would be great.
All right, you ready? 1, 2. I'm gonna take a few.
Here, do you want me to hold one for you?
Sure, and one more camera. Let's see. Okay. 1, 2. Another one. Okay, hopefully I got a good one.
Great, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Make sure those look good before.
We had requested a meeting with the Attorney General. Actually, no, they offered, which was cool. But they said we could only bring 6 or 8 people.
Well,
so there's
look at how
three.
many we
There's
have.
3 of us. Is there anybody else who really
all
wants to
Who all
go?
would like to go up?
Draw straws. Flip some coins.
I definitely want to go. I want to capture it on the
Well,
video.
no, they probably
so-
won't let us film it.
Well, maybe I'll do it on a download.
No, you can't do it. We have to respect that. So. Well, we have
Representatives of different groups. Representatives
we have someone from Northern Iowa, so that'd be nice to have
Yeah.
state representation. And then what other
And
groups
one
do
of
we
the
have?
grannies, we have 2 grannies coming.
The Raging Grannies or 100 Grannies?
100 grannies.
100 grannies are
Sierra
represented.
Club here.
How about you got them separate?
So we can take 8 of us all together, and so far there's Kaylin with no camera, Louise, Sherry, myself, Cheryl.
That's about 8 right there.
Yeah.
Call Carolyn. Ed, did you take Carolyn? I brought you.
Yeah. Oh.
I
So 1, 2, 3. You're okay? You're okay, Joan? Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
1,
fine.
2, 3, 4.
Let's max out.
No, we got it. We got 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll go. This is good. You're welcome. Thank you for coming. Yeah, appreciate it.
This building has no security checkpoint, so we don't have to unload everything before going in.
Represent
In addition, a
interfaith.
start, we'll continue our efforts. Hopefully Tom Miller will move forward with this and bring them to justice.
Yeah.
That's part of his job.
Do you need anything from us,
To
Tim?
bring, corporations, make them align.
We're just going to walk through the.
Awesome.
He's done it before, he can do it again.
Right, exactly. Well, and I was a leader with renewable energy, so we can be a leader with holding.
Exactly. Yeah, and this is part of that fight for renewable energy.
We got the momentum from other things too.
See ya.